God has done some amazing things in my life, and the biggest thing is that He has taken me from insecurity to confidence. I grew up different because of my rare skin disorder. It's called lamellar ichthyosis, and there are several complications with it. Our skin is very dry and scaly and flaky, but even harder than those physical issues is the emotional, because when you grow up different, it's not always easy. I remember when I went to kindergarten, parents actually wanted their kids taken out of my class. People wouldn't touch things I touched. I think they were afraid that they would catch it, even though it's not contagious. I never heard them say this to me to my face, but they would call me Scaly Bailey. Even to this day, everywhere I go, I get stared at as if I'm some sort of freak who belongs in a sideshow. And all that is really hard, especially when you're younger, growing up in that. And I really got to a point where I honestly thought I was ugly and worthless. And even though my mom and grandma always told me, God doesn't make mistakes, He thinks you're beautiful just the way you are, I didn't believe that for myself. And the turning point for me was when I was, I believe, 10 years old. My Sunday school teacher said that Jesus wanted to be our friend. And that really struck me because it wasn't always easy for me to make friends. In that moment, I knew who God was. I knew He created the world. I knew He is king of everything. And if He wanted to be my friend, that's amazing. But over time, I finally started believing all the truths God says about each and every one of us. And now I'm a confident woman, and it's 100% because of God. The one crazy thing that people would probably be surprised to know that I did was back in 2014 and 15, I competed in pageants. And it's something I'd always wanted to do. I remember being a little girl watching Miss America and wanting to do that, but I felt that I had no place in that world. But finally, I got to the point of I need to listen to my own advice I'm giving everybody else, and I need to not let the world define the standards. And so I went out and I competed, and I ended up being able to compete as Miss Pennsylvania at the national level with Pure International Pageants, and I finished first runner-up at my first national competition. And the following year, I ended up winning the Ultimate Pennsylvania Queen because of all the appearances and volunteer work I did. But the pageant helped me come out of my shell because I had to do appearances and speak to groups. And now I just really feel that this is exactly where God has brought my life to. For 32 years, this is what my calling on my life is and always has been, but it just took me a long time to see it. One of my sayings is that I turn my pain into a purpose. And yes, there are times when especially when I was younger, that I wished God would not have given me my skin disorder. But now that I look back on my life and I see how far He has brought me and how He has worked in my life because of my skin, I just see it now. What used to be one of the things I thought of as a curse or a burden, I now see my skin as one of the biggest blessings in my life. And I know that if God can take me from insecure to confident, He can do it with anyone. And that's why I want to share my message and just give people that hope that God created you in His image and you are perfect just the way you are. And you have value and worth because you're His son or daughter.